Bonjour, madame, messieurs, et bienvenue à Playoff Beards. Je m'appelle Rob, avec mon ami Ryan Christensen. Ryan, comment ça va?
Ah, ça va bien. Et toi?
Yeah, très bien, très
Eh,
bien. Adelia
ah.
Chamberlain, comment ça va?
Why are you speaking in French?
Oh, it's
Oh,
it's a it's a bilingual sport and bilingual country here in Canada and stuff like that. Just we have to do the Can Con. If we don't do enough in French or whatever, we're gonna get our funding taken away.
Sure.
Yeah,
I
that's how
took
it happened.
uh I took 3 years of high school French. I understood maybe 3 words of that.
Did you understand comment ça va?
Yeah.
All right, so comment ça va?
so,
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Okay, so you're comme si comme ça.
comme ci, comme ça.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys, welcome back to Playoff Beers. 2024-25 season done.
Yeah. 82
Time
games.
time for us to live up to our namesakes here, and we're going to talk about the playoffs here. The hardest trophy in sports to win, even harder than the something that gets me to Vegas every year, probably. You know what I mean? I just say,
Mhm.
you know, but it's tougher to win than the local darts tournament. We're talking about the Stanley Cup, of course. We're going to be breaking down first round matchups a little bit.
Just a little.
We don't get paid to do this. We're not going to go in depth with all the analytic baloney.
No.
Just who do we think is going to win? Who has caught our eye this year? Maybe. Let's talk about things that caught our eye before we get into the playoffs and stuff like that, which is important. A couple of business things to clearing up here in the NHL to end things. We got some awards that have already been
Right.
stamped in. You know what I mean? We got the Art Ross going to Kucherov in Tampa Bay. Where'd you see that coming from?
Nathan McKinnon took the last 2 games of the season off.
That's true, but just even Kucherov being back at that level, I think is quite an achievement. Kucherov,
Didn't he win this last year?
yeah, but like when you look at the beginning of the year and stuff like that, it's
Yeah.
slow. And he just keeps building up, building up, building up. And McKinnon
Yeah.
was great. Draisaitl was great. McDavid getting hurt for quite a bit of the season, of course, is going to hurt his chances as well.
Mhm.
Uh, I was surprised Kucherov is the guy that's going to walk away with the Art Ross
I,
this year.
I think we could say the same about the team in in total, the Tampa Bay Lightning. I don't think any of us anyway thought that they would be as good as what they ended up being throughout the regular season.
It took a long time for Vasilevsky to get back into form.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that matchup coming up soon. Rocket Richard winner this year, Leon Draisaitl.
Leon Draisaitl.
Yeah, it's what you get when you face everybody's second best defense.
Yep.
Play behind a looming shadow. You know what I mean? A guy whose arm
Mhm.
grows more. That works out for Leon Draisaitl this year. Congratulations to him. Jennings Trophy, your winners and still champions. The Winnipeg Jets allowed the least amount of goals this year.
You did.
The President's Trophy, guys. For the first time in either franchise's history, the Winnipeg Jets have taken the most points. Well, they also won the most games, but taken the most points in the NHL this season. Some say curse, some say
Is that a good
It-
thing?
relief. I'm going to say this.
You guys were tremendous in the regular season.
Yeah.
Now the curse sets in.
What?
Oh,
You're going to say curse. That's going to be the curse. Not that we had to face Edmonton throughout the 80s every goddamn year. Not that, we'd be up 3-1 against Vancouver twice in 2 seasons and lose both of those. Not that, you win the first game against Colorado, drop the rest. Vegas, drop the rest. What curse? What
Oh.
curse? Maybe this is the curse breaker. We're now the curse busters, guys. I should change this thing. Go to curse busting. You know what I mean? Now,
No.
we're going to talk more about, of course, maybe we'll talk about the Jets a little bit when it comes to playoffs. But do you guys, I'm going to say, like, a couple of teams that stood out for me that didn't make the playoffs. Of course, you got to start with Columbus.
Mhm.
I think I
With
cannot
everything.
stand. I cannot stand Dean Evanson.
Oh, that's just a hateful man.
I think he's garbage. But results are results, and this team, considering what happened in the off season, to get
That's
these
the
guys
big thing.
and Line A wanting out, having to deal with all of this, these guys galvanized together. And Zach Werenski with a hell of a season too, by the way, playing almost 27 minutes a game.
That's incredible.
In the regular season, bananas. Like playoffs, you can see those kind of things.
Oh, 100% you will, and you will.
Well, 27 minutes. You're going to have to in one town, I'm going to tell you that. Unbelievable job he did just to get them close, just to keep them in it. The team was all together this year, you could tell. Another team I just want to give a quick mention out to is Calgary.
100%.
That they fought for so long that they were in it right to the last couple days. Congratulations to them. They got a hell of a goalie coming in now. I don't like it. I hate the Flames. I hate them almost as dearly as I hate the Oilers. And I don't, maybe even as much as the Leafs. It's close, guys. But you gotta give credit where credit's due, and I think they did terrific for what they had, considering no one had them coming anywhere close to the playoffs. Now, I just wanted to laugh at one team, and that's Boston.
Yeah.
I think they deserve our scorn and laughter, and I believe they should be humiliated forever for this.
Yeah, there's another team too that I think deserves to be scorned.
Okay, let's hear what Ryan has to say. Lay it on us.
I think I can remember doing this show back in the summer, and we were praising the job the Nashville Predators did in free agency, bringing over Stamkos, and then is it Marchessault was another one.
Yep.
And then they bring in the big defenseman Ski there, and everybody thought Shea, whatever.
Yeah.
Everybody thought Barry Trotz did a fantastic best GM of the year before the season even started. And then we see just exactly what players that are good caliber that don't play as a team look like.
Yeah.
And that's the Nashville Predators.
Like I said before, I think signing Stamkos to that contract would have been amazing 4 years ago. Yeah. Like now you're stuck with this guy and nothing. Marchessault, I am a little surprised, but who was going to get him the puck? You know what I mean? It was terrible. I could say one thing about Barry Trotz as a GM. He was a pretty good coach.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. That's it. That's putting the peanut butter on it right there.
Adelia, you want to bash anybody? You want to praise anyone here?
I think we always need to bash the lack of effort, I guess, in building strong teams that exist in San Jose and Chicago right now. They're trying. They're drafting young kids, they have no choice but to draft the young kids and play them because they're not building teams well at all. They were god awful this year, and I mean worse than Nashville. Those were the bottom 3 teams in the entire league: San Jose, Chicago, and Nashville. And also, word for the Flyers. The Flyers were terrible this year too.
Honorable mention to the New York Rangers for being terrible.
The New York Rangers were the President's Trophy winners last year.
They made it to the semi. They made it to the Eastern Finals last year as well. Yeah, all those teams deserve scoring. And Mike Greer, what are you doing over there, buddy? Come on, in San Jose, they're terrible. I'm surprised there hasn't been everybody fired in New York. Maybe because the owner really only cares about the Knicks and the building. Just the Rangers play there, which is maybe a good thing for the Rangers, considering what the woman does. Nashville. Could it happen to a nicer club than the Nashville Predators of all teams? Ridiculous.
Unbelievable.
Now, you guys want to talk the teams that actually made it in?
Yeah.
You want to talk about what this show is about? For goodness sakes.
I think that's fair.
All right. Well, let's start with the least controversial matchup of the first round. Leafs and Sens.
Let's put the graphic first.
Yes. Okay, here we go.
There we go.
Starting out east. We got the Leafs. We got the Sens. First time I think they've met 4 times and they've had battles. And this is back in the Zdeno Chara days and stuff like that, going back
Yeah,
that far. I remember Chara
2000.
ragdolling Brian McCabe with one
Yeah.
hand, and McCabe was not a small kid. Uh,
No,
First time for a while, the Leafs had always dominated the Sens. In the playoffs before, this is when they could buy whoever they wanted and stuff like that. And Ottawa would have to draft and develop, and they weren't developing. But the Senators did get to a Stanley Cup a few years after that, and then
they
almost
did.
made it to the Cup again in 2017. Better than the Leafs, we'll say that. Now,
Yeah.
the Senators won all 3 matches against the Leafs this year.
Mm-hmm.
They've won 5 straight against them overall. But does Toronto finally have goaltending? And goaltending with experience, because Stolarz was, may not have played much, but he was there watching as the Florida Panthers won the Stanley Cup last year. They have better defense.
They do.
It's better. It's not, I wouldn't say terrific. And Austin Matthews may not have had a season to write home about, but again, I think he played better defensively. I think Ruby has them playing well defensively.
Mhm.
They made it. They win the Atlantic Division, which is, I believe, for the first time they've done that since they've gone into this ridiculous format.
Mm-hmm.
Do the Leafs actually move on from a first round for the second time? Or was it 5 years?
I'm going to say absolutely yes.
Okay.
Um, for everything you just pointed out, the fact
Mhm.
that they actually have, for the first time in a long time, they actually have a goaltender that they have confidence in.
Sure.
A goaltender
Best
that,
best goals against in the league this year because he didn't play as much as one other person.
oh, 100%. And defensively, much, much better, much bigger, a little more sound. And like you said, I just think the Berube system has it's found its way into that locker room and it shows on the ice. So yes, I will say that. And take nothing away from Ottawa. I think that the big X factor for Ottawa is Allmark.
Mm-hmm.
If Allmark plays well, Ottawa has a great defense. Like their defense is underrated. Like they're going to try to win with the physicality.
They've got a true number one defenseman there.
Yes,
I don't know if you could say that about the Leafs, but the Leafs have a bunch of guys. Well, they have guys who were, obviously Ekman Larsson
back in it.
was a very good defenseman at one time,
Yeah.
but they know what their roles. They're not doing anything to put themselves in bad position. I'm going to say that they're not a defensive core that's going to try and push the puck up the middle when they think they have a play just to get it to a center. I think they're going to make the smart play, and I think that's something that they've shown throughout the season.
Yeah, and I also think like I I I like the way Brady Kachuk plays the game. He's got to be smart though. He's got to be smart. Play physical, play your game, but be smart. Don't be taking no dumb penalties or a little extra shots after the whistle or whatever because you're going to find yourself in the box, and
Yep.
then that's when you're going to find the Senators in a world of trouble.
It's a big problem for him. Like he had you're not going to see the Brady Kachuk that was raring to go right at the top of the Four Nations. This is different.
No.
No, of course you won't.
I think, and maybe there's a lack of experience there with these Sens. It's the first time they've made it in, how long has it been? 9 years or something like that?
Nine since
Yeah.
2017 or
17, yeah.
17.
Ridiculous. Adelia, I think Ryan has said he's got the Leafs. Adelia, who do you think gets the
I
series?
got the Leafs.
Yeah.
I think it'll probably be the Leafs, but I also wouldn't be surprised if it ends up being the Senators just because of the head-to-head matchup this year. This is the first time there's been a Battle of Ontario in the playoffs since 2004. So
Mhm.
these two fan bases are probably going to get their players, hyped up for these games. I could see Ottawa, extending this beyond where maybe Toronto wants to go. And then we know how shaky Toronto's been in like a game 7 situation over the past several seasons. So if Ottawa can get them to a game 7, I might go Ottawa.
I think if Toronto loses one of those first 2 games at home, I think it shatters them. I honestly do. I just like those teams that beat Ottawa way back in the day, and they had like guys like Darcy Tucker. They shit disturbers. You know what I mean? Go
Shane Corson.
hit people late, and all this kind of stuff, just to get in people's heads. Who do they have for that? Is it going to be like Max Domi? You know
That's
what
the
I
only one
mean?
I'd love to see Matthew Nice throw his size around,
I
but
think he's too important. He's too
I
important to
know
the
that's
team.
exactly
They're going to be like, you cannot put yourself in a position where you're not on the ice.
no, you're right.
Ottawa plays team offense, and Toronto is front loaded, as we know. So it's going to be difficult. The smart choice is the Leafs. Of course, they should win. That's why I'm picking the Sens. But I'm picking them because of a reason, and it's the same reason why I always lose our predictions over on Starting 11 Tuesdays on the Let's Get Ready Network sports thing. That's our English Premier League podcast. Delia and I do, guys, Tuesdays. Right here, LGRN Sports. Moving on. Going on to the battle. We got a Battle of Ontario. We got a Battle of Florida. Again.
This is going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah, Tampa and the Panthers. Panthers regressing a little bit, but I think they were safe with their positions and stuff like that. Big deal is Matthew Tkachuk being injured for so long. It looks like he's going to be back. Who do you have in this one, right?
Well, throughout the whole year, like I Florida, like that was kind of like everybody thought, same kind of the same trajectory as last year, like everybody thought. But then obviously things happened. Four Nations Cup, Kachuk gets hurt. Florida has been bad since the Four Nations Cup. They've been bad. Where Tampa's probably one of the top three teams since then.
Sure.
Yes, it's nice to get Kachuk back. It's going to be nice when they get Ekblad back and all that stuff. I just don't know what kind of like how long is it going to take them to get into like the condition of the games.
Yep.
Where Tampa, I believe, is just rolling now. I have Tampa beating Florida.
Nice. Marchand is there too, but this isn't 10 years ago, Brad.
Yeah,
Marchand.
Again, I don't think he is as important as he once was.
Yeah, Barkov again, solid. He's a very good two-way player, but you're going to be going up against Kucherov all the time.
Florida has to stay out of the box. If they have any chance of winning the series, they have to stay out of the box.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem with Marchand. So, Adelia, who do you think wins this series?
I think Tampa probably takes it just based on form heading into these games. They split their regular season series to a piece. And I think that Florida really gets motivated when they play Tampa, but I just don't know if they have the quality right now to beat Tampa in this form.
I think you also have to take in mind, though, does Florida still have a bee in their bonnet over the Kucherov knee to Kachuk earlier on? In that game, that there's all those penalties happen and stuff like that, too. Guys, it's going to be the same thing. Tampa, the smart choice. Both teams know how to win, of course. Florida being the most recent. Tampa should win. That's why I'm picking Florida. But I got a good reason. To do it. All right? So you're going to have to wait. You're going to have to wait to see what. Washington and Montreal.
This should be Washington.
What are we even talking about here?
Yeah.
You know what? I think it's going to be a better series than what a lot of people think it's going to be.
Yep.
But it's still going to be Washington in 5.
Yeah.
Montreal might squeak one win out like in the Bell Center just to give their fans a little ole 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 stuff.
Yeah.
And then
I almost choked on my old poutine. Just as
But yeah, so again, I think it's Montreal will be the games will be tighter than what people think, but it's still Washington will still take the series.
Sure. Adelia?
Yeah, their previous playoff meeting was in 2010. Montreal came back from a 3-1 deficit to win in 7.
Yep.
If that was closer to now than 15 years ago, I might consider there be some serious scar tissue there. But I think that most of the players on Washington are probably different now than they were 15 years ago.
They had one player still.
One player's still there, but that player
Big
also
deal
scores
is,
a lot of goals.
yeah, the big difference is Montreal is missing one player from that series, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
There's no Carey Price
Okay,
in the
No.
net for Montreal this time.
No.
but
This should be Washington in 5.
shit. But is Logan Thompson? Is he? What's his status
I
for
don't think
goaltending?
it doesn't
I don't
matter.
know.
It
You don't
doesn't
think it
matter.
matters?
No, not in this. Not in
Okay.
this.
Okay.
I think kudos to Marty St. Louis, and congratulations to them. 3 teams make it in to the playoffs on the last day of the season, which is, I guess, some kind of weird
That's
record that hasn't been
must
done
be.
before. But
Must be.
congratulations to them. You did it. You had a goal. You got it. And I'm never going to say a bad word about Patrick Laine in my life. Never. Good for him for doing so well.
Exactly.
Their high praise for this Davidoff they got from they finally got over from
Yeah.
Russia.
He looks excited.
He looked good in that one game that he played that I saw. I don't know if what happened with him in the other game, but Washington's going to smack them around. They're going to smack them around like a redheaded you know what.
Tom Wilson's going to just run over everybody.
Yeah, that's going to be the one thing where he's got to learn how to rein it in.
Yeah. That's a player that definitely needs to.
I don't want.
Tone her
If I
back.
was Washington, you do not go to the box because you put Line out on a point or out
Well,
on the
that's
circles.
exactly.
There's like they had a Ovechkin on their side. Line's got
Line is
the other side.
just.
Yeah,
he's a
it's
sniper.
lethal. It's lethal, and he's good in the playoffs. Now, yeah, Washington's going to win. I wasn't going to do anything
Okay.
ridiculous. Okay, Washington wins. Carolina and the Devils to round out
Hmm.
the East.
This one's a little tougher.
They got very similar jerseys. It's going to be hard to tell them apart.
Yeah, I know. I think the biggest factor in this series is the loss of Jack Hughes
It's big.
that the Devils have. Yeah, he changes that whole team's dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Carolina just plays good, sound defensive hockey. Like they are a defensive team. And even though the Devils got, that Jesper Bratt and they got scores, I don't think it's going to be enough to get past Carolina. I pick up Carolina.
What do you think, Adelia?
I'm going New Jersey.
Ooh,
This is my upset in the first
sure.
round.
Okay.
I just don't know what to make of this Carolina team this year. They've been, up. They trade for Rantanen. That whole situation is so super weird still. They get rid of Rantanen, and then I haven't seen enough from them after the trade deadline to make me think that they're gonna make a deep playoff run. I know New Jersey's lost Jack Hughes, but I also think that can kind of galvanize that team.
Sure.
And they can pull an upset here. I don't think it'll be in anything less than 7 games, but
I think both of these clubs had the peace of mind knowing they could probably just coast in to the playoffs. I think they were in a like where these two were going to be matched up for a while. I think they always knew it. Carolina, I'm going to take them just from the experience of winning series. Jersey is still young and stuff like that. I remember a lot of people, Sheldon Keefe, going over to Jersey thinking, "Oh, this is going to make all the difference for Jersey," and they missed the playoffs.
no.
But, yeah, I got Carolina in this one, but I'm with Adelia. This might be a tight series. Might go 7
It's going
games.
to be. Oh, absolutely. I would not be shocked if
Dougie Hamilton coming back for
but
New Jersey could be a big deal
that's
as
huge.
well.
That's
But
huge.
he isn't up front trying to score. They got to get goals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's it for these. Let's go out west. Let's start Pacific. All right. Let's start with well, we got two centrals here. We can talk about this in a bit.
Okay.
Vegas and Minnesota. The only other way it would have been more perfect for Marc-Andre Fleury to go out, would be if somehow he could have faced the Penguins in
Mm-hmm.
there, or if there was a trade late, whatever, just to go over to hang him up. But lots of success in Vegas, and
Mhm.
currently with the Wild and stuff like that. Marc-Andre Fleury, second most wins somehow in NHL history, 575 wins. What's up
I
with
know,
that?
crazy,
It's
crazy.
crazy.
How many goalies get picked number one overall too? That's also ridiculous. But he's going to be hanging up the skates. I don't like calling him the flower. You know,
No, I've never liked that.
there's one Lafleur. You know what I mean? That
That's it.
he got
That's
it
it.
first, and he used to smoke like 3 packs a day.
Oh, it's wicked. He was a champ.
Yeah, what a guy! What a guy!
What a champ.
Golden Knights win the season series 3-0. Yeah, the Wild get Kaprizov back uh, at the right time. Maybe they have
Mhm.
someone who can score now. Vegas should just be able to shut the door. This shouldn't go long, should it?
No,
No.
I don't think it will. Now, can I honestly say this is the first playoffs that we've covered in the last few years that we don't have any Golden Knights LTIR BS.
That's true.
That's
This is
true.
Yeah,
this is this is great. Like it's about time. But yes, Vegas is that even with all that, they are still a very 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 good team. Props to Minnesota for they started off the season on a heater. Like them and Winnipeg were just back and forth with the points and all that stuff. And then all of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden, obviously injuries, stuff happened. Minnesota just kind of fell off. Good for the pick them back up, and they got back in the playoffs. But it's going to be probably Vegas. It will be Vegas, and it'll
Bol-
probably be 5 games.
Boldy's been good for them.
Mhm.
I think they play a fine team effort type of game. Vegas has a lot of talent,
Yes,
and they're used to the spotlight. They're used to Vegas. Like just being in Vegas is
it's
Yeah.
going to
it
be a huge
makes all
advantage.
the difference. Makes all the
Yep.
difference.
All right, Adelia, I'm sure you're picking the Wild here.
No, I agree. I think Vegas will probably win this in 5 games. I think the Wild maybe sneak one at home, but Vegas should win this.
Uh, Either way, it's going to be a fitting send off for Fleury either place
Yes.
because they love him in Vegas still.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
He's loved in Minnesota. He'll get to skate out. He'll get to do a lap and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah. Yeah. He'll get his
Congratulations on a hell of a career. From you remember when
fantastic.
Pittsburgh pulled him from the playoffs or whatever? Like
Yeah.
he won the one, and then
This
Matt
well,
Murray, for God's sakes. Anyways,
crazy.
going on. The other one out west. And for the fourth year in a row, we get the Kings and Oilers. This time it's the Kings with the home ice advantage. The
Mm-hmm.
Kings won the series 3 games to 1 this year. What do you think of the Oilers and Kings, Ryan?
Well, I mean, start of the year, we all had Edmonton being you know, the perennial Stanley Cup favorites and all this other stuff. And yeah, I
All
was
of
on
us.
board. Well, not all. Well, yeah, whatever. But but as the year went on, we obviously seen what happened. Everybody still had hope. It's like, it's still Edmonton. Edmonton still has the best player in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Still has probably the best, well, besides Ovechkin, probably the best goal scorer in the league right now in Draisaitl. So, I mean, all indications are Edmonton, as long as Stuart Skinner is good to go and he plays average or decent, Edmonton should win the series. But I'm not going that way. LA is winning the series in 6 games.
What a boy. I like
LA
it.
LA just has like the team that they have this year, it's just built. Like it's not a flashy team. It's just a solid playoff team.
Yep. You look at the lineup and you're saying who's this? Like they've got guys that have been around a long time,
Oh
obviously,
yeah.
and Drew Doughty. And you look at their goaltending, and it's like, is this really it? Like,
With Darcy
but
Kemper? Huh?
yeah, Darcy. Remember they got big save Dave Riddick as the backup. Uh, you're like, where's this all gonna go? But it's working. and it
Mhm.
continues to work. And they've been solid all year. They've beaten the Jets.
Yep.
They beat them like not the Jets like at the end when they're
No.
just coasting along, trying not to get hurt. Even though we'll talk about injuries in a sec, but they've just been solid throughout. And Edmonton is coming in hurt. They're bringing in guys. I think Evander Kane might play for some reason,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he hasn't played all year. We're going to get more into people that haven't played in a while in a minute here, Adelia.
Mhm.
But Ekholm is going to miss the first round.
That's enormous.
That's big.
It's huge because, and also, how does Darnell Nurse only get
Oh,
one damn game?
that's disgusting.
Should
The
have
league
gotten
should
way
be
more than
The
that.
first
oh
cross check, never mind the second one when he's
the
on the
second
ice.
yeah when he's trying to jam his face in the ice.
Come on,
Like that's not a hockey player.
ridiculous.
No.
Yeah, the they're just ridiculous out in New York. Anyways, Adelia, who do you got in this matchup?
I had the Kings.
Okay,
I think the Oilers are too injured and LA's too solid, and even though Edmonton's won 8 of the previous 10 series against them, including the last 3, I don't think that they're going to win this one.
how about the legacy of trading Pierre Luc Dubois? It doesn't really work out for Columbus, uh, but it works out great for Winnipeg. It works out great for Los Angeles, and it's
Mhm.
working out now in Washington. PLD has been pretty good.
He's
Yeah.
been yeah.
He's
No,
not $8 million damn dollars a season great,
but hey, it could be worse.
Yeah.
but he's been fine. Okay, let's go to the only division that really matters. You want to start? You want me to start, Adelia?
I'll start.
Let's start
Um
with Dallas and Colorado then.
yeah, I'm already sick of all the people I see on social media saying the Avalanche are doing the LTIR thing just like the Golden Knights have been
For
doing.
what?
For Landeskog.
This is
No,
This guy
okay.
has
This is
been
what we
out.
have to talk about.
This
Yeah,
guy
this is
has been out for 3 years.
what
3
was the
years.
last thing he did on skates before that
Win the
188?
Stanley Cup.
He won the
hoist the
Stanley
cup.
Cup
Hoist the
Yeah.
cup.
3 years.
That's the last game he played in the NHL. Was the game 6 against Tampa when we won the Stanley Cup. Like I just think that people are like just trying to like drive Avalanche fans mad because Abs fans are always complaining about Vegas doing the LTIR thing. But like seriously, this is not what
They've
Vegas
been
does.
doing the long con. They've waited 2 full seasons to
Hmm.
do this,
Yeah.
so they can
3
go up
full
against
seasons, Snark.
to do this against Dallas.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Anyways, if Landeskog does suit up for game 1, it's going to be a pretty emotional moment for Avalanche fans because a lot of us thought he was never coming back. I thought he was never coming back. So I think he's going to be a great boost just for the morale and for the room
Yeah.
for the team. And who knows how much he's going to play or how well he's going to play. He did pretty well in those 2 games he played for the Colorado Eagles, but that's AHL. That's not NHL, and it's not the playoffs. So who knows? But this is if he suits up, this will be the first time the Avalanche will be basically healthy in 3 years because we've always had him off on LTIR, and there's the whole Mikko Rantanen angle to this.
I was waiting to hear about this from you. Of course, the boy who said no, Adelia.
I was watching an Avalanche podcast today where they were saying if Mikko was able to go back and redo that, he'd probably do it differently and stay in Colorado. And I kind of agree with that. I think he is not the same player in Dallas. He wasn't the same player in Carolina. He's still really good and he has moments of brilliance and he'll probably have a few in this series, but he's not the Mikko Rantanen that he was in Colorado.
He was terrible in Carolina.
He was awful.
He was not much better in Dallas.
No.
Yeah, I think he was a product of a good environment in Denver. I think he's smart and he got the money. He got the money, which is that who he cares about. He already had a cup.
Yeah.
Carolina nor Dallas have Nathan McKinnon to play
Exactly.
It's a big deal.
Exactly.
It's a
It is a
So-
huge deal.
yeah.
So,
And Dallas isn't even going to have Jason Robertson.
Dallas
don't-
is
that's
Dallas is
tough.
hurt. They're
That's
not going to
tough.
have
They
Mero
don't have
Heiskanen.
Heiskanen.
No, Heiskanen. Last game of the season, Robertson goes down. Last game.
Yeah.
Ah,
They
that's
And he's
are.
week to week, so he's probably going to miss at least the first 3 games of the series.
So what you're saying, Adelia, is you're predicting an upset with the Avs taking up the Stars.
Yeah, I think the Avs are going to win in 5 or 6. Like, I just don't think that it's really even close.
Yeah, I don't like it, but I'm 100% with you. I don't think it's close.
Yeah. The Stars have been like in the bottom 5 in like every production statistic since the Four Nations break. Like they have been awful since the Four Nations break, and I just think the Avs are too solid of a team. The only question I have about the Avs is how will Blackwood handle the playoff pressure, because he's never played a playoff game before.
That's fair.
If you guys can get a cup out of Georgiev, you know what I mean?
We did not get a cup out of Georgiev.
Well, who's the
Darcy Kemper was
Darcy
our
Kemper.
goaltender
there you go.
that
There you
year.
go. Oh, there you go.
But still, we got a cup out of Darcy Kemper, and he wasn't great in that playoff run, but he was good enough. And I
That's
think
all you need.
that's all you need from your goaltender.
You
when
have the
you
best
have the
defenseman in
front
the world,
players.
and you have
Yes.
the best centerman. Well, maybe second best centerman
Yeah,
in the world.
we have really good players. I think the team is much more stable now after the trade deadline than it was before, when we were still dealing with Casey Middlestat or still dealing with the not having a real second line center, and all of that. The trade that Chris McFarland made earlier this season to get Blackwood and Wedgwood and ship out both Annunen and Georgiev. If it pays off with the Stanley Cup this year, I don't care if he sucks for the next 5 years. I really don't, because we'll have won another Stanley Cup.
It's always
So,
the deal. Who
yep.
cares? Who cares? You buy so that you can win.
I will say Blackwood's inexperience in the playoffs worries me, but he's got a really solid backup in Wedgwood, and we haven't had that in 3 years either. And I know that it's weird to say that, but Wedgwood has been really solid for the Avs.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Ryan, I'm sure you're picking the Stars.
Well, I don't know.
Oh, really? He might. Oh
I
my
might
gosh.
not.
Oh, okay.
I think about a week ago, a little over a week and a half ago, I had Dallas because them getting Sagan back is huge for that team.
It's
Mhm.
okay. I'd say yeah, it's better that they
It's
have
better.
him. I don't know.
they,
Huge though.
they
Not anymore.
weren't getting worse. They were getting better.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately with and we all knew that Heiskanen was probably out anyway, so that's not a real surprise.
Yeah. No.
And then of course the last game of the season, obviously what happened to Robertson has really changed the narrative going into this series.
Yeah.
I think the biggest acquisition that Colorado made this year was Brock Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I think Brock Nelson has brought.
And you're not just saying that as an Islanders fan.
I'm a homer. Yes, I am.
Mm.
And but I think what he has brought to that team has been stability on the second line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Plus he's been a good first team power play guy with out there with all the other stars that Colorado has.
And he can win faceoffs, which the Avs are terrible at.
And especially in playoff time, those little things like face-off wins in your own zone and stuff like that. That all counts. That's big.
Yeah.
So I was leaning Dallas a week and a half ago. Now, no, I'm going to pick Colorado, but I'm still going to say it's probably going to be a 6 or 7 game series.
Ooh, yes, a lot tighter.
I think Dallas, unless Ottinger has to stand on his head for them to have a shot at beating Colorado in a 7-game series.
Well, yeah.
I think they will win a couple games against Colorado.
That's for sure. One to get a couple, I think would be a remarkable job on their behalf, because I saw those Avalanche last year. That first round they were terrific. The second round not so good, but that first round they were terrific. Okay,
I also think Dallas has a really weak right side of its defensive core.
Yep.
Well,
yeah. What's this? Yeah.
I know that they're missing people, but still.
Not the same. It,
Nope.
the thing that worries me about the Avs is how quick they might get through Dallas, because we are talking next about your
Mm-hmm.
President's Trophy winning
You mean you are
and
talking?
Ryan's favorite team, the Winnipeg Jets, his favorite team by far.
No,
Now,
Says the man wearing the Winnipeg Jets jersey,
I just felt, how dare you?
he took that out of my closet. Damn it!
whose headline underneath his name says "Go Jets Go."
Yeah.
He took my headline too.
Yeah,
Jeez. No.
it just appeared. It just appeared. I just hit the
Just
thing or whatever.
appeared.
It's like, yeah, I did random. I just picked the random button. It's like,
Wow.
Uh,
AI is
there
fantastic.
is no random button.
okay. Jets, Blues, the best record in hockey since Four Nations. They were terrific. They were on a hell of a
Mm-hmm.
tear. They had won, what was it, 12 games in a row,
11
13
or
games?
12.
Yep.
11, yeah, something around there.
Till they came into Winnipeg. Winnipeg said no. The thing
Was that
about Winnipeg,
was that
and
the four? No, was that the 4-0 game?
that was, I think we won 3-1.
3-1. Okay, I thought it was 4.
Uh, the thing about Winnipeg, and they've been doing this all year, they're not going to go out and pound you 8-1 just to go back and lose the next game 6-5, 6-2. They've played the same style every game all year. When they lose, it's because they've gotten rid of the style. They've taken the team lightly. They've lost to teams like Buffalo. They lose to Utah. They lost to Edmonton when they weren't playing anybody. But people can get out of the lineup. They lose Velarde, it doesn't change. Velarde is 30 goal scorer. It doesn't change. You're not playing any one person in Winnipeg. You're playing the system, and no one's beating the system. They also have to go up against. I've said it before. He's the best player in hockey in Helba. I know a lot of people don't like giving that to a goaltender, but it's just so hard to say when he's doing this. And he has a Vezina Trophy season last year, and then he does this. He gets money, he gets paid, he gets it. And I think he has that burn of saddle from last year and maybe the year before in Vegas, where they said enough. He's gonna win. It's just been different. You can see in the team this year, it's different. St. Louis, again, terrific job. They bring in Montgomery after being poor. Shades of when Berube
Hmm.
took them to the Stanley Cup final. They had to go through Winnipeg as well.
Yeah.
Winnipeg, a couple of stupid mistakes or whatever, and that may have been a different series. But the Jets aren't going to make those mistakes this year. The Jets are who they are. The Jets have shown their cards. They don't have anything to hide. Someone has to come in and try to beat the Jets at their system. I don't
Hmm.
see it happening. Not 4 times. You're gonna have to beat them 4 times. Anybody. I don't think anybody's beating them 4 times
So are we doing a
in this
first round
WC.
prediction, or are you doing right to the Stanley Cup
I'm
then?
just telling you the Jets are gonna beat the Blues, but I think the Jets are gonna beat the Blues
Hmm.
5 games, maybe six.
Okay. Okay.
But the Jet, like nothing gets like Robert Thomas has been terrific
He
ever
has been.
since, and Bennington. Who saw Bennington? Stealing the Four Nations for Canada.
Yeah.
He's been terrific ever since then.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's coming to a close.
That,
The Jets have something to prove, and I think they're going to prove it against the Blues. Anybody else have something to say about the Jets? And I tell you what, I'll find out where you live. I'm just kidding.
well, you know where I live, so I
Yeah,
can't go there.
that
But
was good.
no, I would say you're 100% correct on everything you said about Winnipeg. But I think the MVP this year for them has been their head coach,
It's been
Scott
terrific.
O'Neill.
Yep.
He's the one that's got them playing sound, terrific positional hockey. The players didn't change from last year when well, it was bonus for a bit and then it switched, right?
No, it was bonus the whole year, and then he
Was it
retired afterwards. But
okay? So
Arniel was his second in command.
okay.
Yep.
So I mean, it was still the same personnel. The only difference is the voice that's leading that personnel.
Yep.
And yes, the players still have to go on the ice and play, but they just this the Scott O'Neill has cemented his philosophy into these players, and they have bought in. So that's to me that's the biggest thing with Winnipeg is they've always had the talent, they've had the personnel. Now they have the leader that they're going into battle with, and they will do what they have to do to get it done. The other thing
buy-in
with
is there. Yep.
St. Louis, a big thing with St. Louis is the loss of that Holloway there.
Yeah, Dylan
That's a
Holloway being out.
that's a big loss for St. Louis. It still is not good. It still wouldn't change my prediction or anything like that. I still have Winnipeg in 5, but that is a big hindrance to the Blues as well.
Yeah. It's big. The Jets are probably going to be without Ehlers for the first round, but again, you're not playing one person. Like with Velarde coming back, what do you do with Iafallo? Iafallo's been terrific on that first line since getting moved up. He can. We got so many guys that can just go up and down the roster.
Oh,
With Nemesnikov of all people as your second line center,
and
and you're
and
getting
I'll,
Perfetti scoring. You're getting.
and
It's
I'll tell you that Brandon Tanev, what a pickup for you guys! What a pickup!
You got to
That
bring him home.
man,
Bring him home.
he
Just energy.
he's
Yeah.
he's blocking shots with his toothless face.
I'll also
Like it's
say
unbelievable, man.
Luke Shen has been terrific.
That's another good pickup
Yeah.
too. No,
Yeah.
you guys, no, from everybody like in the management team there has done a fantastic job this year.
Considering everyone said how poorly they did at the trade deadline, how poorly they do all year, and you look at the stats and stuff like that, everybody who's supposed to win whatever, the Jets are never on there. Jets might be a wild card too.
What were they? Plus 83 on the goal differential, plus 80 something, like just incredible.
We knew they were going to make the playoffs and do it easily, Ryan, you and I. But
Yeah,
I think I talked myself out of them being first in the division because I was thinking, oh, is it too much of a homer pick? Ugh,
yeah.
I should have stuck with my guns. Adelia, what do you think about the Jets and the Blues?
What you guys have done this season so far has been very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
But Connor Hellebuck, when he gets to the playoffs, has a history of not being as great as he was in the regular season. I mean, he just does. So if he proves that wrong this year, great. You guys will win. But I just don't trust him in the playoffs at all.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what happened in the first round last year.
Yeah, well, that happens. Ovi could never get past Sid. Then he
I
did.
know. But like,
so this is gonna happen. Everyone has bad turns or bad
but not everyone gets not everyone overcomes all of it. So I'm still picking Winnipeg in the first round. I think you guys will beat the Blues in 5 games, if not a sweep. I just don't see the Blues threatening you guys at all.
Mm-hmm.
But whether it's Dallas or Colorado, you've got a serious test in the second round.
Oh, yeah.
Not against Dallas. Not against.
If
Dallas.
Robertson's back, if Heiskanen's back,
we'll dominate them. They just dominated him again. I'm not worried. Heiskanen isn't coming back. Let's put that.
He's
out
skating.
Yeah, they could say that. He's not coming back. They just dominated him in their own place when they needed to win. They just took care of him. Mm-hmm. They gave him nothing. They gave him nothing. Shut them out.
Again, that's the regular season.
Yeah, it's the same team. They're not going to play.
It doesn't matter that it's the same team. You didn't think they were going to play any different last year either, and they did.
Yeah, well, they were scoring goals last year. They had a different way of playing. There's a different coach.
Doesn't matter.
They have a way they're playing this year. They played it all year.
Like I said, if Hellebuck comes out, plays really well, you guys will win a couple rounds, if not more. But you have no idea how he's going to handle the pressure because so far, all the evidence of him in the playoffs is that he can't.
Yeah, there's lots of goalies like that. At least we'll go with the guy that has just turned down a season of the ages when it comes to goaltending and stuff like that. I'll take that.
Yeah, again, regular season.
We'll see. All right, I get it. You're just trying to make yourself feel good for that second round.
No, I'm not trying to make myself feel good for that second round. I'm just saying, until Hellebuck proves to me that he can handle the pressure in the playoffs, I'm not going to trust him in the playoffs.
Sure. Okay. Well, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, your Stanley Cup champions will be decided not in the first round, guys. It'll be decided much later. I just wanted to get back to real quick before we go. The reason why I picked the Sens, the reason why I picked the Panthers is I would like to watch Kiefer's head explode. Because, who's he going to cheer for? He's going to slip up once, and that's going to be he's going to have a meltdown. And a 400-pound man having a meltdown on the in the stands or whatever is always fun. Guys, Thank you so much for our first round picks and stuff. Wait. Before we go,
We're
maybe you
not
want to
done.
put up that other graphic, the one where if they just
Yeah.
did
Oh, the
the
seedings were
top
different. There
the
you go.
top eight. It's the exact same in the West.
It's
Over
not
in
the
the
exact same in the
Oh,
West.
there's two differences.
sorry, the Kings and the Avs. Yeah, Avs win.
Yeah, Stars
See,
in Edmonton.
I would pick Edmonton
Edmonton,
there.
Edmonton would
Yeah.
win. Edmonton would win the way the Stars are right now.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Over in the East, still Caps.
Yeah,
Florida beats the
I would say
Hurricane.
Florida would beat Carolina.
Yeah.
Do you think the
Ro- I
Leafs
do
get
believe.
past
Le-
Sheldon Keefe and the
Leafs
Devils?
Yes.
get
That would have
past the
been nice.
Devils. Yeah.
Yeah. How about the Lightning and the Senators?
Oh, Lightning.
Lightning.
I don't think it goes 5 games, right? That's probably a sweep. Anyways, I think that's
That's
it's
neat.
there was nobody else that came in. It's the same team. So there you go.
Yeah. It's just a different seating.
You'd
A little
you'd
different. A
you'd
little
you'd
different.
have to do you'd have to do 1 through 16 for the whole league to get different teams in there.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
still don't know why they don't do stuff like that.
I
I
don't
wish they
know
would.
either.
They don't take trains or buses anymore. You know what I mean? Everyone
Like
has a luxury plane.
I think this, L.A. Edmonton 4 years in a row first round. Like
Yeah.
it's enough's enough.
They did this all to build rivalries, Ryan. Don't you think the Kings and
Oh,
Oilers have one of the biggest rivalries
oh,
No.
in the NHL?
yeah. Oh, it's
This
phenomenal, the rivalry.
this playoff system sucks.
It's terrible.
It's yeah.
Something's got to get done. It won't get done until the count gets booted out, but it might not take too long. He's getting up there. It's getting up there. I don't know who replaces him. I don't know
I
if it's
don't know
Bill
either.
Daly. You
That's
know
what
what I
I
mean?
heard, Bill Daly.
Yeah, Winnipeg guy. Anyways, so not all Winnipeg guys are built the same. You know what I mean? Guys, thanks so much for helping predict the first round of the playoffs here. Ryan, mon ami, you don't do much else on the Let's
This
Get
is
Ready
what you.
network, but you want to
No,
say anything? You want to
this is
say
where
anything
you
while
see
you have
me.
the chance?
This is where you can catch me.
Mhm.
Obviously, we have great community here at LGRN. You know, Discord, come on in, talk. We shoot the crap about everything among anything. So other than that, this is where I reside on this channel and love doing it.
Awesome. Adelia, we got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, we do. First off, if you want to join the Discord, there's a link to join the Discord in the description of this episode. So check that out. Everyone is free to join. It's an 18 and above Discord, though. We don't want any kids in
Ooh.
there. So
No,
no kids.
no. Ryan's
Um,
usually nude. I'm
no,
just
he's not. No, he's not.
Jeez, that's different.
How
I
you,
didn't. I didn't.
Um,
you'd never be able to tell. It's all audio
No.
or text.
Stop it. Anyways, this weekend here on the sports channel, we're doing WrestleMania watch alongs. It'll be me and Matt Munoz. Justin was supposed to join us, but now he has to work. So it'll just be me and Matt, unless anybody else wants to join us. But starting at 4 p.m. Pacific on Saturday and Sunday, we're going to be watching WrestleMania. I don't watch WWE on a regular basis, and neither does Matt. So this will be
Yeah, this is
interesting.
perfect. This is
Yeah.
exactly what we needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific on this channel is the starting 11 with Snark talking about the rest of the Premier League season, which I'm totally bored by, and I just want to concentrate on the Champions League.
Yeah, it's about time. It's about time. Through their entire history, that our
By the time that we get to starting 11 on Tuesday, we may have a champion in the Premier League. So
ridiculous,
Yeah.
ridiculous. I don't like it at all.
I don't like it either.
Yeah, over on our entertainment network, Adelia and I have even more. We just launched just before this. We did this here program. Rewatchers Council's new title with Angel going on. We've reached the point in the Buffy the Vampire Slayer lore that Angel starts. So we're going to talk about that now. We've just finished City of, so please everybody go watch Angel. It's interesting. It'll be interesting for the first little bit. If you guys want to see a broody, I guess I want to say if you're going to want to see a broody Batman, I guess that's all Batman is. So basically, if you want to see Batman without a cowl, You could watch.
Batman if he was a vampire.
What do you
That's
mean?
literally
If?
what they
What do you
tried.
mean?
That's literally what they tried to make Angel be in that first episode. Anyways,
It's vampires with grappling hooks.
that's Friday. The Angel is Fridays on the Entertainment Channel at 3 p.m. Pacific. Buffy is Thursdays live at 3 p.m. Pacific. This
Yep.
week, season 4, episode 2, Living Conditions.
Yeah, we get to learn more about Buffy's away at college. She's gone the whole 6 miles away. She's got her new roommate. We're gonna find out a lot more about her new roomie in this coming episode. Also this weekend, guys, is it Easter? If it isn't LGRN after Snark, I don't think it is. Danny and I will be talking about the conclusion of the Daredevil Born Again first season. We'll give our thoughts on that. Maybe there'll be a visit by the Easter Bunny. Probably
No.
there won't be, but
There will
there
not
always could be. That's why I said there maybe for legal reasons, guys. Thanks everyone for watching and or listening. Playoffs coming out. The best whiteout starting Saturday at 5. Yeah, right when I'm doing I was supposed to do a certain after Snark show, but that got moved. So yes, I will be wearing all white. Maybe I'll paint my face and stay in my living room for the Jets versus Blues. And guys, wherever you are, enjoy the playoffs. Enjoy the first round. We will be back at some point to talk about what's going on in the first round. We're not done with the first round. You guys out of your minds. Come on, there's too much to happen. It's playoff beards. We did enough for the regular season. It's playoff beards. It's time for us to get to work. Thanks, everybody. And until then, a bientôt, mes amis.